don't know how, I don't know where the money was coming from, I don't know where I was gonna get the clientele, I don't know, but all I know is that I just had to do it. So I did it, and now we're here. And what is going on, beloved? It's your girl Ty, and welcome back again to Live with Ty. As you guys can already tell from the title of today's video, we are doing my very first esthetician Q&A, and I am super excited to do this one. Yesterday I had went on my Instagrams and I asked y'all what are some questions that you guys have for me being a licensed esthetician, and I actually got quite a few responses. I was not expecting this. I'm looking down because I got my phone right here with like all the questions, but I thought to like make this kind of interesting too, because I don't really have a lot of beauty or facial stuff on here as much as I would like. I want to add to my aesthetic portion of my YouTube channel, so I'm actually going to be doing a brow henna on my brows. As you guys can see, like my brows are pretty much like non-existent. Yes, your girl is struggling with some hyperpigmentation too, but it has gotten a lot better since I gave birth and was just being more consistent with my own skincare routine. So yes, like don't think just because I'm an esthetician my skin is always perfect, because it's never been perfect. And even when I do get it to a state where it's like good for the moment, it's never like all the time. So as I'm answering the questions, I'm going to be doing a brow henna on myself. You guys see the before. By the end of this video, you guys are going to see the after. I'm not really going to go into depth about explaining certain stuff because this is not that video. But before we get into today's video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share with all your friends and family. And without further ado, let's get right into it. @stylemebabe_artistry asks, can we get deets and tips on going solo, renting a suite, building clientele? This is the perfect start to this Q&A because literally everything that she just said is what I'm currently doing right now in this season of my business. First and foremost, tips on going solo. My main thing that I would suggest about going solo is make sure that you are making the right moves for yourself. Like don't allow or try not to, because I know it can be hard. Wait, hold on. As far as like my transition and this whole entire process, this is not the first time that I've, you know, quote unquote went solo. I actually went solo back in 2020 at the peak of the pandemic. I had signed my lease and everything like March 1st, and if you guys scroll back on one of my older videos, you will see like that whole entire process. But that was like the first time that I actually went solo, and you know, just leading up to that point, it takes a lot of like talking to yourself and just praying to God, like, or whoever it is that you like pray to, whatever, just to make sure within you it feels right. So I went through that whole entire process before the pandemic even happened, signed the lease, so was so excited to move in, and then of course y'all know everything shut down, and then that was like a very discouraging moment for me, to the point where I didn't even reconsider like going back to work or going solo again for that matter to like 2 years later. So I'm saying all that to say, I feel like there's no like right or wrong answer. There's no like directory of like what you need to have in order to say that, okay, I'm ready to go solo. I feel like it has to do a lot with like speaking to yourself internally, speaking to the people who support you in your business around you, and just praying. That was really like the biggest thing for me. I've not said this over like my Instagram stories before. When I moved into this place, I literally had I mean, my clientele is literally only my family, and I have very limited family here in Maryland. So my clientele was slim to none, and it wasn't like a regular thing. And it's still not like a regular thing. Like, I have good weeks and I have bad weeks. This week in particular, we getting real vulnerable, real authentic. I had no clients, like, at all this week. So it kind of made me feel discouraged because, you know, you sign a lease, you still gotta pay rent. But the client that I just had, she just happened to book last night. And I was just like so happy that happened. So that's another thing. Like, just if you don't have a huge clientele, but you still feel it in your heart and your spirit that you do want to go solo, just keep that in the back of your mind, that you will have like your good weeks, your bad weeks, but just remaining like faithful and high spirit and optimistic about this whole entire journey, because that's what it is, at least for me. I'm not here, like, I didn't make this decision thinking that I'm just gonna get instant, like, oh, my clientele is gonna be booming, I'm gonna be making all this money, and everything's just gonna be picture perfect great. Hey guys, Editing Ty here. So I also wanted to add into this part, for me, I also made the conscious decision that the first 6 months that I was gonna be here, I wasn't gonna make any type of money per se, like no profit. I was just gonna make money to pay the rent, and I was okay with that. Like, I came to terms with that being the case for me. So that was another reason why I'm kind of comfortable with stepping out, because I knew I just wasn't gonna make any money. I came to terms with not really making any money the first 6 months. So it's just the first 6 months building clientele, and then from that I would start to be in a place where I have the clientele that I built up, and, you know, I'm starting to see the fruits of my labor. So I also wanted to just throw that in really quickly. All right, back to the video. Because it's not like your girl was literally struggling. But so yeah, that's what I could say as far as like going solo. Just make sure that you're having like real conversations with yourself, and not just like, oh, it sounds good, so this is just what I'm gonna do. Because even when I brought up the fact that I wanted to go solo, but yeah, when I brought it up to him, he was just on the fence of not supportive, but just trying to figure out, okay, what is it that I'm going to do? So what's the plan? He was just saying stuff like that, which made sense, and I didn't have all the answers at that time, but I just knew in my heart that this is something that I had just had to do it. Like, it just had to get done. I don't know how, I don't know where the money was coming from, I don't know where I was gonna get the clientele, I don't know, but all I know is that I just had to do it. So I did it, and now we're here. Renting a suite and building clientele. So there's a lot of places out there for you to move and create the space for your business. The only thing that I would highly recommend researching is what they have to offer you. Like, besides offering you the room and you paying the rent on a monthly basis, what else do they have to offer? Like with Salon Lofts, for example, they have their own separate website domain, where I do have my own business website, but I also have a network website within their community that reaches out to, so that other people outside of my target audience will be able to look and search and book a service. So you get your own website with them. They also give you like discounts on products. They have a network of certain companies that they work with to give you discounts on certain things that are like useful for salon, for cosmetologists and estheticians. So that's always a perk. Discounts are always a perk. They offer a lot more than just a space for me to work. Like, I would just say wherever it is that you choose to do or like rent out a suite, I would just say like research what else can they offer you besides just a space, and that's it. As far as building clientele, I'm still like in the process of getting myself together, and I also feel like because I have like this actual place of business, I'm able to feel more inspired to create content. I have a lot of new followers from all the content that I have created. The reels are like my #1 thing. I love visuals, I love creating content to like nice music, and that has been like the biggest thing that has brought in a lot of people in. I do run ads here and there, like through Facebook and Instagram. I'm not really sure, like I feel like I've done it maybe like 4 or 5 times, and it hasn't really done much for me to like notice like the money that I'm putting into ads is like helping. The thing that I've noticed significantly is the attention that I'm getting from my video content in my reels. I'm also a very, very introverted person, so I'd be scared to talk to people, but being here, knowing that I have a rent to pay every month, has gotten that comfort like level boosted, because I'm over here, I have business cards, I'm going next door to the stores handing out business cards. I'm at a restaurant, I'm getting some coffee, I'm handing out a business card as I'm like paying for my stuff. And doing little stuff like that, it's definitely brought me outside of my comfort zone, but I'm in a position where I really can afford to like be scared and uncomfortable. Like when you're in an uncomfortable setting and you do things that make you uncomfortable, that's where you experience the most growth. So just by me, between like my Instagram content and me verbally going out and like talking about myself and my business and just like sharing a few things, those have been like the 2 biggest things that has helped me. And of course I'm not where I would like to be as of yet, but we're getting there, honey. What school did I go to and how did I like my experience? Okay, so I went to 𝘾𝙉𝙉𝙉𝙀𝙉 Institute that is located in 𝘾𝙊𝙉𝙉𝙀𝙉, Maryland, Baltimore, Maryland. And I went like pre-pandemic, like before the pandemic even happened. And for me, I love the experience. I know that I'm a very hands-on person, and that's something that they spend a lot of time doing in the school. Like you have like your book work and everything in the morning, but after like you have lunch and stuff, then you're all hands-on. And that's one of the things that I loved most about the program, all of the hands-on work that I was able to endure. Of course people have like their negative things about the school, like yeah, you're in the school with a bunch of females basically of all different age brackets, so there's some cattiness, but at the end of the day, I wasn't there to make any friends. Like literally, I was not there to make any friends. I literally went to school, sat in the front of the class, took my notes, ate lunch by myself a couple times, and just like did what I was supposed to do. I had strict tunnel vision, so I feel like if that's the mindset that you go into, and I feel like that's what any esthetician school, but if that's the mindset that you have going into it, then you're going to be totally fine. The school did not really provide you for what's to come after getting your license. Like it literally teaches you the basics, like the very minimum basics. And someone had asked like what's 5 things that I wish, what they say, yeah, someone else had asked 5 things that I wish I knew, and that is one thing that I wish I knew prior to going to esthetician school. The amount of continued education that you're going to have to invest in yourself and just learn on your own in order to be successful in this industry. In school they really focus, they teach you like a broad spectrum of very minimum and basic topics, but the main thing is sanitation, rules and regulations for your state, and those are like the 2 biggest things. Anything really after that, as far as like specialty services or like advancement facial services, or if you want to specialize in acneic skin, hyperpigmentation, rejuvenating facials, anything extra of that spectrum, you kind of have to, you definitely have to do your own research and, you know, take some extra classes that you are gonna have to pay out of pocket for, on top of paying the tuition. I got what I needed. It provided me like that information. So from Sydney Alexis, what made you want to be an esthetician? So one of my homegirls, she is a cosmetologist. She used to do my eyelashes, and so I would go to her, get my eyelashes done, and this is around the time when she was pregnant and all that stuff. So it just kind of inspired me, seeing her being like about to become a new mother, and just, you know, creating the space that makes her the most comfortable doing what she loves to do. And at the time I was working in the restaurant. If you guys have ever worked in a restaurant industry, you know, like, they don't really care about you. Like, they just care about who's able to clock in, work these shifts, who can work the longest shift, and that's really it. And that's not the type of time that I wanted to commit to anyone else besides the family that I was now building and expanding. So the first thing is being my time, wanting to prioritize my time for myself and not for a paycheck. That's the main thing that made me want to just step into the entrepreneur field. I've always loved getting facials, like, growing up, but I had got a random ad on Facebook about 𝘾𝙃𝙼𝙉𝙉𝙀𝙇 Institute. It's a school for massage and skincare therapy, and I'm just like, this has to be a sign. Even though that random ad popping up was, like, very weird to me, I still took it as, like, okay, this is a sign, and I'm just gonna, you know, go see. And I took a tour, went to take a tour just to see what more information I could get by being there in person. And lo and behold, like, that same day I took a tour, I ended up signing up for the program that same day and started school 2 weeks. So some people, that may just be, like, too abrupt for them, but at that time in my life, I really didn't care. Like, I didn't care about the job that I was at. So I was just over my job. So that was that. Alright guys, I'm back, and I know I look so crazy right now, but you have to trust the process. And that's, like, the overall theme of today's video, just trusting the process, trusting the journey. Okay, so yeah, I talked about what made me want to be an esthetician. My friend was a cosmetologist. She was a hardworking new mother-to-be, and I just wanted to be in control of my time. And that's really it, because time is more important to me than money at the end of the day. Advice for people considering going to esthetician school. If you are interested in going to esthetician school, one, like I said before, just, like, research the school. Or maybe I didn't say that, but yeah, just research the school. At the end of the day, I feel like, I'm just speaking, like, in Maryland, I feel like all the schools are just going to teach you the same exact thing. It's just, like, knowing in your mind that you're going to have to do more and invest more in order to grow your business. Or if you don't even want to have, like, your own business, in order to just, like, get more knowledge, period, because this industry itself is always growing, it's always advancing. So just being able to maintain what's new to come is something that I would advise you. Just, like, have that mental note, because if you think that you can go to esthetician school and then that's all you need to do, then don't think that, because that's not it. That's literally the bare minimum of the beginning of your esthetician career. Okay, another advice that I would say is, because this field, first of all, there's so much more that you can do with an esthetician license, more than what I even realized going into school. Something that I've had to, like, take in a lot of time to, you know, sit with myself and just, like, think and pray about is, like, what is it that is going to make me different than all the other thousands of other estheticians just in my same area, let alone the whole entire world. You kind of feel like, well, how am I going to be the one to stand out of all these other people? And because that's something that I struggled with in the beginning too. Like, what is it that's going to make me different? And that comes along with, like, just having the confidence and getting more practice. Like, the more that you are practicing your work, the more comfortable and the more confident you're going to become with doing your work. So everything comes with time, but that is something that I wish someone had told me, just to find, like, your niche, find where you fit in, and whatever clientele is for you is always going to come to you, and not really stress about that part of it, because you may want, like, a certain clientele, but that might not be what's meant for you. A new businesses starting from 0 clients. I kind of went over that one. This is from Botanically Beauty and Skincare. I kind of went over that a little bit earlier, starting a business. Even though I wasn't starting from zero clientele, it was very like almost slim to none clientele because it was only my family. I was not taking any like outside new clientele up until January 17th of this year. So for me, it was just like the content on my Instagram, word of mouth. I feel like that is something that I slept on so much. That is really like the bulk of my clientele between Instagram and word of mouth. Really just speaking about what it is that you do and what it is that you can offer, and then just your personality will start to sell itself. Another thing is just finding what it is that makes you feel happy and comfortable, and then just like using that to your advantage. Me creating content, even on days where I'm not when I don't have any clients at all, I would still just come in here, be in here all day. I'm over here making like behind the scenes reels of what it is that, or what it would look like if I'm setting up for a client, or what it looks like when I'm setting up the spa lounge, or you know, doing laundry, just stuff like that. Actually doing that type of stuff brings me peace. So just documenting that and like putting it into like my spin of things when it comes to the creating content side, that has really done it for me. So I would just say find what it is that you're really good at, and then just use that to your advantage to bring the people in. Because once the people are in, getting the people in is the first part, but once they're in, they're just staying. What's a good product? This is from Hadizel, my boo. What's a good product to keep your face moisturized without buildup? One of the top, I guess you could say, over-the-counter, I will give you a good over-the-counter, and I will give you a good professional brand. So keeping your face moisturized, CeraVe Hydrating Moisturizer, that is the goes, and it does not congest the skin. I use that one a lot like after my pregnancy, because I was going through a lot of like dry patchiness with my skin. Like when it comes to me and being pregnant, my skin just like don't like me or something, because I would have severe like patchy, flaky skin, and that was like the only thing that would work, that wouldn't cause like more breakouts or just leave my skin feeling like it needs more, like thirsty, like it need more moisture. So definitely the CeraVe Hydrating Moisturizer. It comes in a like white and blue jar or container or something like that, but you can find that at your local like Walmart, Target, CVS, Walgreens, whatever. But as far as like professional brands, which you could purchase on my website, the SAI, what is it called? I don't know, but it's on my website. That is like a good overall for all skin types. Leave your skin nice, luxurious, lumptious, like it just seeps into the skin without leaving it to feel like you are going to have to reapply throughout the day. The aloe is great. If you guys know anything about aloe, it's nice, hydrating, it's soothing. It's great for sensitive skin types as well. Acai Berry Moisturizer, that's for you, okay? And you can purchase that at beyondabeauty.com. Okay, what was it like going solo? Did you always work for yourself or at a spot first? I guess I'll talk about it now, since I've kind of like hints and glimpsed at it here and there, but I guess I might as well just say it. First and foremost, before going solo, I was working at a previous employer. This was before the pandemic, and then after the pandemic I didn't go back for 2 years, but in November of last year I actually did go back. So I am working part-time there, and this is my main job, and I'm working part-time at one of my previous employers. It's a franchise, you guys, I'm sure you've heard of it. They have them all over the states. But yes, let me address this, because I feel like as a lot of like entrepreneurs who are either like part-time or seeking to go full-time and just are kind of debating if that is the right step for you in the season that you're in right now, it can be hard. It can definitely be hard, because in the back of your head you can feel as if like if I do go back to work for an employer, is that then me not believing in myself and me not believing in the work and the potential that I have to offer. Those are all the questions that were rushing through my head during the time of when I made the decision to go back to work. Even though it's part-time, I'm literally only there 2 days a week, and I'm not working crazy hours. I'm working the hours that I picked out for myself. So it's basically still not really, it's not really weighing down on me as much as it would if I was working like a ideal 9-to-5 type of situation, and it would be hard for me to then put in effort for my business. But at the end of the day, I did make that decision, and yes, I did make that decision, and I don't plan to be there, you know, for a long time. And I've actually had conversations with them about that, like letting them know that I do have my own business. That is my end goal, and my, you know, that's what I want to do going forward. So that very like open, honest communication, if you do decide to work for someone else again, I feel like that's very beneficial, just so they can have an idea of like where it is that you stand, because they need to know 𝑽𝑎na Beauty comes before anybody, okay? So if they wasn't rocking with that, then I wasn't rocking with them, but they are. So, and they're very supportive of me and my business, and I feel like that's not what a lot of people experience when they have like a regular 9-to-5 or a second job on top of their own entrepreneur business. So in that sense, I'm very, very happy, and I'm blessed to, you know, be in the situation that I'm in, working the hours that I still want to work, and not really taking time away from 𝑽𝑎na Beauty. Like I was saying before, if you started off going solo and then you have to go back for whatever circumstances to work for someone else, it can be very like devastating. And that may sound dramatic, but that's kind of like how it felt. Like you're just giving up on yourself. And I just want to say, like, if that is you and you are watching this video right now, do what is best for you, do what is best for your family. Don't let social media and society control what it is that you believe is truly for you. Whatever situation that you happen to be in, just make it work for you, and have boundaries with that. And if they can't respect your boundaries, then figure something else out. But I feel like society and social media has like this, mainly social media has like this thing, like if you go solo, you just have to do this, you just have to be that and struggle and be in the trenches, and that's not the case. Like if you feel like you don't have the clientele to sustain whatever rent that the people are seeking from you, get your little part-time job, but make sure whatever part-time job that you are is just working for you, not you working for it. You know what I mean? Like you're not giving up more of your time and your energy for them more than you are for you. And I hope that makes sense. Life in general, I'm just taking it as a learning opportunity, whether good things happen, bad things happen, happy, sad, whatever the case is. I'm just taking it as a learning experience, and just, you know, taking everything with a grain of salt, and just continue to keep my faith and my happiness at an all-time high. Because if those two are at the top, then everything else after that is just like, who cares? Non-existent. You can't stop me. You can't stop me. We gon' make it. We gon' make it. We gon' make it. We gon' make it. Being an esthetician, I don't think I have a worst thing about being an esthetician. The only thing that would come close to that is like when you're going through your weeks where you have like your peaks and then you have your lows, and as far as clientele, because your money, having people come in is your money maker. Like if you don't have people coming in, you literally make no money. So that's literally like the only thing that I would categorize as being the worst. But even in those moments, I don't really feel like it's the worst for me, because it gives me some time to rest. It gives me some time to rest, to reflect, to plan thoroughly. So like I was saying before, like every time something negative happens, or like there's a rainy storm, I just tried to make the best of it, make it work for me. So yeah, I may not have clientele at all this week, but I'm able to be home with my family, be home with my babies, rest as much as I really need it, thoroughly just plan out for the next couple weeks. And that's the type of stuff that I value so much. Last question that I have is from 𝘾𝙊𝙉𝙉𝙀𝘾𝙏. She says, do you ever see some skin that just can't be treated? And I have never personally came across a client with a skin condition that cannot be treated. If I ever did, or if they had like a certain level of acne that I felt was out of my scope of practice, I would then recommend them to a dermatologist. But honestly, 𝘾𝙊𝙉 Beauty, I'm gonna just say it, 𝘾𝙊𝙉 Beauty is like a holistic brand and a holistic experience, and I truly believe everything that happens externally is from a source that is coming within. So I feel like everything can be cured just by digging a little deeper. It may not be like a surface thing, it may just be like something internally. Thank you. It's time to take these brows off, and we are going to see how they're looking. If they are willing to like work with me and like commit to a journey, I'm willing to do my research and to do all that I can do in order to, you know, help the situation from a holistic standpoint. So not only are we getting like the topical care from getting our facials, but we're also diving in a little bit deeper to see what is the root of the cause, because I feel like everything that happens on the outside stems from something that is not internally, you know, all the way correct on the inside. So, you know, it's not for everybody, and I totally understand that. Some people just want to get like a treatment or take some medication or just do something that is just going to get their skin to look good, but I'm all about like health, being healthy internally and externally. So it's more time and commitment, but I feel like it could get done. Yeah, so let's go ahead and take these brows off. I might as well make a reel. Look at me. See, this is what I'm talking about. Always trying to create some content, doing anything that I'm doing, I'm always trying to create content. Okay, you ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's crunchy. Oh, these came out so fire. Oh yeah. Y'all see it. I need to brush them, but this came out super cute. They're gonna last me a good maybe like 2, maybe 3 weeks. I am not mad at it. Let me put some oil. This is it, you guys. Super cute. All right, but yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed this Q&A. I would love to do more like throughout the months, or maybe I would do them like quarterly or yearly. I don't know yet. But yeah, I hope I was able to give you guys some insight on, you know, the current stage of entrepreneurship that I'm in right now. Comments in the comment section below. And yeah, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share with all your friends and family. And without further ado, I'll see you guys later. Peace out.
Sometimes I wish you knew, but I disguise the truth. I say I'm happy, but I'm still stuck on us. Does your mind play this game too?